basketball at Hastings High School on a Friday morning, taking a three-pointer like I like to shoot, and my shoulder was sore, my legs were sore. I had a sore in my right thigh and my rib. When I was going up, my rib didn't feel right, so it was just like, I just thought I was getting old. It was really weird because our pastor at our church, Pastor Fredericks, had cancer, and actually my wife was preparing a meal to bring for him, and so it was just a bizarre phone call. I was just sitting on the couch, and it was just, and I've had these exams for 5 years, so it was just a routine. They just x-ray every bone of your body to make sure everything's okay with you, and so it was a little bit of a shock. It was a little bit of a I don't know, my wife started crying, and it was very emotional. It was just kind of it didn't seem real, and then especially to say you're going to start treatment Friday, and just with coaching basketball and just with stuff I got in my life, it kind of puts everything just goes right on hold. I've never really thought that I've got cancer. I've always wanted to be treated the same way, and I've just wanted to live life the same way. Well, my wife has been the best. My wife Camille has been with me, because there were some times when I spent 50 days in the hospital for the year of 2015. So, and a lot of it was at Regions, and then a lot of it was during my transplant. We stayed at the transplant house down in Rochester. My wife was with me. My mom lives in Rochester. My brother, my sister, obviously, with her bone marrow and doing the donation for me. And my daughter is in medical school. She came up, supported Isaac. My son Isaac is been there. I think the community of the high school with Mike Johnson, with Superintendent Tim Collins, with the whole staff, when we did HHS Stands Up for Cancer at the high school, and raised money, donated it to the National Cancer Society, and it's been overwhelming with the students and with everybody. It's been great. It's actually just been, I'm loved. One day at a time. You never know how much time. You never know what you got. You gotta live life to the fullest, and you gotta go after it. And you just realize that it's people that you surround yourself with that have helped you, and I think that's what you gotta do. You gotta just know that life is short, and you gotta live it.
I'm John's mom, Shelley Gagan, and in April of 2012, John was diagnosed stage 4 high-risk neuroblastoma. And neuroblastoma is a cancer of the nerve cells and nerve tissue. And that February, John had been presenting with regular childhood illness type things like sore throat and stomach ache, and we had taken him to the doctor several times, and he had been diagnosed with strep throat twice, and he then started to experience some knee pain and back pain. And finally our pediatrician saw some remarkable things in his blood work that was concerning, and she sent us to Children's Specialty Clinic in Minneapolis. The morning that the appointment was to be, John woke up and he couldn't walk. And so my husband and I both said to ourselves, let's pack a bag, because we just knew that we were in deep and we weren't coming home that day. So we went to Children's Specialty Clinic, and right away they took us very serious that day. And I can remember there's a skywalk that goes between Children's Specialty Clinic and Children's Hospital, and I remember carrying John because he refused to ride in the wheelchair. He was still feisty even when he wasn't feeling so well. And I knew we were transitioning from how our life had been to a life that I was scared of, and a life that was going to be a fight for John's life. So everything went so fast. They did tests, and we quickly learned that John had a tumor the size of a softball above his left kidney. He had cancer in the top of his legs, his pelvis, his shoulders, the bones of his legs, his pelvis, his shoulders, his skull, and that his bone marrow was packed with neuroblastoma cells. During that whole process of John's treatment, John's first initial treatment for Children's Oncology Group, frontline treatment they call it, lasted 18 months about, and he had 6 rounds of chemotherapy, several surgeries, radiation, stem cell transplant, antibody therapy. the support of the Hastings community, our family, our friends, and our neighbors, even complete strangers, is what got us through that. I mean, you can't even imagine what it's like to live that experience, but we were able to get through it one day at a time because we had the most amazing support system that we didn't even know was there, but it was. And in our darkest days, when John was sick, there was a lot of scary moments during that time. We were picked up by the people around us. Then they gave us the energy and the courage to carry on day by day for John. And we had the Team John t-shirts, we had the Team John, the Miko bracelets, we had the mini sticks for Miko, we had cards coming in mail, we had our wonderful fundraiser for John. I know my husband and I think about John's cancer every single day. We think about it, how grateful we are, because we know that John's story could be so different than it is. We think about it when he complains of a stomachache, when he complains that his throat hurts. It's a constant worry. So what we're trying to do is to live our life with hope and not fear. Who do you play for?
Who do you play for?
Who do you play for?